sports coverage of the National Football League. Brings us to the capital city of Colorado. Welcome to Denver and Empower Field at Mile High. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos. On the Tennessee sideline, Brian Callahan, age 41, looking to build on a rough 3-14 year one in his second season as the Titans head coach. On the other side, you've got the head coach of the Broncos. This guy's come in off what he described as a strong week of practice, looking to put one in the win column in front of these home fans. So what lies in store for these teams this season? The talking's done. We're about to find out. It's week one, and off we go on EA Sports. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So out come the Titans, and they are led, Greg, by Cam Ward. Same alma mater as you, University of Miami, the #1 overall pick in this past April's draft.
Well, here it is. This is the moment, Mike, that he has been working towards ever since hearing his name called on draft night. He's put in the work. He's gotten the reps with the first team. He's had some ups and downs through training camp in the preseason, but it's clear this organization has all the confidence in the world for this young quarterback to go out as the week one starter, and frankly, the hope is he's the franchise quarterback for years to come.
From the gun, here's Ward. Oh no, disastrous start. First throw of his career is intercepted. Picked off by Dre Greenlaw.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at the 29.
I think you chalk this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
So the Broncos come out, and Greg, they are led by their QB of the future. Found their guy with the 6th quarterback selection in the 2024 draft. Second season now for Bo Nix.
Mike, isn't there just something different about week one of the NFL season? I mean, after months of anticipation, debate, speculation, it all gets settled on the field. New coaches, new teams, rookies playing their first time. Man, it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm pumped to be calling it alongside you.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 6. From the shotgun, here's Nix. A pass complete to the tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down. We have a chance for the first points of this game as they've set up 1st and goal.
They do a really nice job of picking up the pressure, and that's what allows him to have the time to go through his entire progression. He sees his check down wide open, gets the ball into his hands, and he does the rest.
A great chance to convert that early turnover into points. Here's 1st and goal. They'll run. It's Williams. And he will win the race to the pylon. He's in. Kyren Williams. Touchdown, Broncos. Greg, they take advantage of the good field position and move it downfield for the score.
When you take the field as an offense, there's a little added confidence boost, Mike, when you see yourself this close to the end zone. You get into the huddle, you're anxious to see what the next couple plays are. They're able to take advantage and end up punching it in.
Cameron Dicker, the kicker for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Broncos have their first lead of the new year. They're up 7-0 here in the season opener. 7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Jaquan Jackson on the return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Following the kickoff, we have an injured player on the field. Not what you want to see quarter one of week 1. They'll give it to Pollard to start this drive. And a good run there. Going to give him 5 yards.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 5. Shotgun snap for Ward. This one not quite on target. Got him too much, and that one falls incomplete. Calvin Ridley was the intended receiver. 3rd down coming up. Out of the gun, Ward. He'll get this into the hands of Ridley, complete. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a 1st down.
1st down, Titans.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 8. Ward gonna tap this one forward. And that one shut down right away. Good pressure on the backside. The defense stops him for no gain.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball into the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really nowhere for this jet sweep to go, because with them running horizontal before the snap, Mike, it's very hard for these receivers to cut and get vertical.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. The Titans sending out their punt. The Broncos have Marvin Mims out for the return. Looked like he may have seen for a moment, but he's taken down after a solid return. Boy, Greg, the Broncos, they were that one team that kept building all year last year, getting to 10-7, making their first playoff appearance since winning Super Bowl 50. After 7 years sub-500, quarterback and coach, they got a combo, and maybe it's the Broncos' time.
Well, how many times have we seen this play out across the league? Like, if you have a coach, if you have a quarterback, you have a chance. And it looks like the Denver Broncos obviously have their coach in Sean Payton, and it looks like they have their quarterback, Bo Nix, of the future. So, pretty impressive turnaround. Now can they get over that next hump? Can they not only be a playoff caliber team, but can they make a run in what's a very competitive AFC?
He will air this out, looking for something.
Really nice job there of not only tracking the ball, but then putting yourself in position to make the play. And that's step 1. I promise you step 2 on that sideline. His secondary coach is saying, hey, next time you can get your hand on the ball, let's try to come away with that takeaway.
Left side, that's complete. It's Sutton. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
Whoa! After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9. From the 46, Here's second and a yard.
Brings up second and a yard at the 46-yard line.
On the carry, it's Williams. And I don't think he got that wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and now you're looking at third down.
Brings up
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
Nix from the gun on third down. He's going to have the first down. So they convert on third down with a pickup of 9.
And the Broncos first down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. That's another first down, another big play. The defense has some issues. Gain of 18. Here's a handoff to Williams. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. Second down, 8 yards to go.
It's second and 8 at the 15-yard line.
Back to throw is Nix. Here's a screen set up to Williams. That one way too slow in developing. They rally to the ball, they get the man, and it's no gain. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Not what you want to see quarter 1 of week 1. Converted twice on third down already on this drive. Now can they do it for a third time? Working out of the gun, it's Nix. That one incomplete. Coverage outstanding there. Able to jar the ball free in a big spot. And now it is fourth down.
Little miscommunication there. Now brings up third down. It just doesn't appear that the quarterback and the wide receiver were on the same page on that last pass.
Dicker's kick is good. And the Broncos will extend to a 10-0 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Jackson now to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So, Greg, the Titans, this is one of those resets. Start over, 3-14 a year ago. You get the #1 overall pick, and now you've got a quarterback who you hope can be your man of the future.
Mike, I'm not sitting here and saying I knew he was going to be the first overall pick, but I'll tell you what. Last year, week 1, I went down, proud Miami alum, to support them down in the swamp versus the Florida Gators. And I got to see Cam Ward play for the first time live. And when I walked out, I'm not saying I thought he was going to be the #1 overall pick and Heisman Trophy finalist. But I'll tell you, there's just a magic to his game. There's an ease, there's a composure. And everyone you talk to, he is the best leader. He changed the culture down in Miami, so now can he do it again with the Tennessee Titans team that's fallen on some hard times? Can they get back to competing in a division that's there for the taking?
Titan football here to start quarter number 2. They've got it second down and 12 to go. In motion, Okonkwo. Throwing is Ward. Short one there to Okonkwo. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there. Well, as been the case this entire first half, it's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
Now it's Ward. Open right side is Okonkwo. Now get about 6 before he's taken down.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
He's going to look deep here, looking for Lockett. And that is incomplete. He was seeking the veteran Tyler Lockett there. And it's going to lead to a 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now. The punt for the second time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. To return, it's Mims. And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title, but you have to remember 2 other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
You know, it sounds crazy when you mentioned 9 in a row. You think, oh, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think L.A. and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City, maybe than there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to not pick Kansas City. But last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
No, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders, do I build? And what an effort after the catch. He goes all the way. 91 yards. Touchdown, Denver. A huge play there. They go in the air. We only see a few touchdowns of that length all year. They go from backed up to in the end zone for a touchdown.
It is, Mike. In this case, most teams are saying, let's just pick up a first down. At the very least, give our punter some room out of the end zone. But not this guy. He's thinking taking it to distance, and that's exactly what he was able to do.
Dicker, good with the extra point. Broncos move further out in front. It is now 17-0. After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. Jackson now to return it. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Titans offense starting to trot out for this next possession. Greg, when you look at the AFC South, there's an appreciation for what the Houston Texans have done. A couple of different quarterbacks, a couple of different head coaches. They've really been the team over the last several years that has been the team to beat in this division. And for the others, there's been moments. The question is, what pieces can they put together to try and knock Houston off the top?
Yeah, and you know, nobody wants to be in a group, right, Mike? Your coach got fired probably for a reason. You're drafting at the top of the draft order for a reason. Typically means things didn't go great. But if you're going to rebuild, I'll tell you, you want to do it in a division where there's a lot of wins on your schedule, and that's certainly the AFC South over the last couple of years. So as bad as things feel if you're Jacksonville and Tennessee, the fact that there's not a big dog in your division, your ability to find yourself climbing up the ladder is not as far as away.
He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. That is P.J. Locke on the safety blitz, getting there for the sack.
With the right personnel, the safety position is like the ultimate chess piece, right? You can put him in center field to play pass. You can bring him up and make him a pseudo linebacker, but you also can bring him on pressure, Mike, and that's what this guy does so well. The timing and the speed, he got there in a hurry.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. To throw is Ward. That caught Tony Pollard. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down.
2 yards. And it's third down.
Throwing, Ward. Forced out to his right. Taking off, he'll try to get there. Taking advantage of the room to run. A gain of 19 on the scramble.
The defensive line has to do a better job of contain rushing, especially on third down. Like, you can't rush one-on-one. You have to rush as a unit. Keep the quarterback in the pocket, and when you let him get loose, this is what's going to happen.
And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. That's another first down, another big play. The defense has some issues. Gain of 18.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
They run it straight ahead with Pollard. The elusiveness on display there. Nifty footwork setting up first and goal.
First and goal, Tennessee.
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
They'll run here. It's Pollard. He'll be wrapped up there down at the 3-yard line.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional. You become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
Back to throw is Ward. That one, taken in. Alvin Ridley. Touchdown, Tennessee. And for Cam Ward, the first overall selection in April, career touchdown pass #1. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg, could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. On the return, here comes Marvin Mims. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense ready to take over once again. Now, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025 here?
You know, as I start in the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattle off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument that they're a playoff team. Joe Burrow was the best player. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator in Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati average? Because if they just play a little bit better with that high-profile offense, I think they're a team. They might not win the division with Baltimore, but they're going to be close and maybe at least get one of those wild card spots.
Why don't you flip it over? Who are the guys you're watching in the NFC?
You know, I think Dallas is going to find themselves, just due to the fact that I know the division is difficult. Obviously, Philadelphia remains really strong. Does Washington kind of regress a little bit back now in year 2? They were the high-profile, big splash team of last year. Do they regress to the median? Time will tell. But I think healthy Dallas, healthy Dak, healthy Micah Parsons, like that roster that we saw play last year is not the roster on paper that we expected to see. So I think Dallas has a chance. I think San Francisco always is going to be a team, again, dealt with their own injuries last year, McCaffrey and all the stuff on defense. So I think San Francisco and Dallas are 2 perennial teams we expect to be in the playoff hunt. We missed out last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them back in it again this year. That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter.
12 more yards. That's another Broncos first.
Big snap on 1st and 10. Quick throw, taken in. And he'll take this down to the 6. That's good enough for first down, first and goal. Now a timeout, Denver. That's their second. And it'll come with 15 seconds to play in this first half. From 6 yards out, it's first and goal. Here's Nix to throw. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Marvin Mims. Touchdown, Denver.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end in the fourth quarter in 2-minute mode. Well, let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here, going into halftime, changes this entire game.
Kicker now for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Broncos up their lead. It's now 24-7.
Cameron Dicker to kick off.
They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Now return coming from the 7. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. He'll manage only a couple. The safety, Justin Simmons, with the stop. So, halftime straight ahead, and we send it over to Scott Hansen, who has the EA Sports halftime report.
Our trip through the NFL starts now at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. It's the Saints at home to take on the Arizona Cardinals. And it's the second-year man, Trey Benson. He's going to find a crease and take it 13 yards to the end zone. The Cardinals come away with the victory on the road in the season opener. From there, it's off to Atlanta. Let's look in on the Falcons as they play host to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is Baker Mayfield. 12 yards on the touchdown. The Buccaneers are going to wind up winning by 17. One more to show you. Let's go to Philadelphia. It's the Eagles taking on the Cowboys. And it's the newest Cowboy, George Pickens. 77 yards for the touchdown. The Cowboys come out on top, and Brian Schottenheimer has his first W as the head coach of Big D. And as night falls on a fantastic first Sunday of football, a look here at the rest of the action on a hectic first day of the NFL's regular season. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been back and forth to this point. No reason to expect anything different in the second half, as we get you back out to the second half and rejoin Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to kickoff of this second half. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out The third quarter is underway. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense, and Bo Nix getting ready to go back to work. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. He was looking for that cutback lane, but it never developed. Tracked down behind the line.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
On second down, it's Nix. The open man is Reed. He's got it. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. They'll have a first down. It's a gain of 28.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Here to give up the middle with Williams. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down.
36-yard line. A 9-yard pickup. It's second and inches.
It's another run here for Williams. Good running there. He's got the first down inside the 30.
And the Broncos first down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work first and 10.
At the 13-yard line.
Now a toss, left side, it's Williams. And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 15-yard line.
Throwing is Nix. This one caught at the 4. And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot.
Another great throw, and that's been the story as you check out these numbers. I mean, he has done everything this team has asked of him and more.
Here's third down and a few inches. They'll try to run it with Williams. And he's going to have the first down. Just past the marker. It is first and goal.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the first down.
Williams. Touchdown! Greg, nothing changed at halftime. They come right out to start this third quarter and pick up where they left off.
Well, I think this defensive coordinator is going to think back to his halftime speech, Mike, because whatever adjustments he thought they made, it obviously didn't resonate. What we saw happen in the first half, they picked right back up here to start the third quarter, and at this point, the offense has hit its stride, and they continue to pull away.
Point after now from Dicker. It's up and good. The Broncos will extend this third quarter lead.
Titans 7.
Scott, thanks. I bet you it was two different, very different, in fact, halftime speeches from the head coaches as we get set for half number 2. Jackson now to return it. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. Tony Pollard heading out with the rest of his Tennessee teammates for their next drive. Now, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchdown. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going forward on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of like I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element that...
That's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Talanoa, who fumbled. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
This is something we see so often out of these young quarterbacks, Mike, is their inability to manipulate the defense. They kind of telegraph where they're going to go with their ball, with their eyes, and I'd love to see him the next time when he gets to the top of his drop. Look off the safety. Hold some of the underneath defenders from where you ultimately know you want to go with the ball. A lot of that just comes with experience, and sometimes you got to gain that experience the hard way.
The Broncos offense headed back to take over once more. You know, Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
I think there's so many good ones, right? You talk about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England, and Cooper Kupp now. He's moving on to Seattle from the Rams, but I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Davante Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run, he can still make every catch, he can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Davante Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay. I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneak.
And he'll take this one in. Cortland Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Dicker now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Broncos add on to their already sizable lead. Hey, Scott, thank you. Two very different halftime speeches, I would assume, by those head coaches as we get set for half number 2. Jackson now to return it. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Out comes the Tennessee offense. They get set to see what they can do. Well, Greg, this is going to take a lot of self-reflection here. You build up so much for the season opener. To struggle like this has got to be a tough field.
Yeah, we've never spoken to a team before their week 1 matchup where they didn't tell us this is the best training camp they've ever had, it's the best roster they've ever had. I mean, how many times have we heard that? So, in this case, though, Mike, I think you have to be careful that you don't overcorrect. Of course, this did not go according to plan. This is not what they've been building to through their entire offseason schedule, but it's still also just one game. So don't throw everything in the garbage and start all over. Don't throw out all the hard work from the previous offseason. Stay the course, fix what went wrong, improve, and move on to week 2.
Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Pollard. Finding room across midfield. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10.
1st down, Titans.
Looking to throw, it's Ward. to the left side, caught by Ridley. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
A gain of 12. And the Titans first down.
On first down, Ward. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up second down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
That's complete to lock it outright. Pick up of 11 yards on that one. That's good for a Titan first down. Ward to throw again. Now a screen. Here's Pollard. And on that first and goal, he is down inside the 10-yard line. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. They've got it at the 8, first down and goal.
Let's go. Gotta be lying.
Again, it's Ward. Look wide. Get this one complete. And he can't get away. They rally to the football defensively. Bring him down for no gain. Here now, second down and goal.
70, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Throwing again is Ward. It is brought in the end zone. Tyler Lockett. Touchdown, Titans.
And what a fitting end to this drive, Mike. It only makes sense that he's the one that gets the ball in the end zone after making a handful of clutch plays prior to the touchdown. That was just a textbook example of one guy taking over the game.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. From the 6, here comes a return. They'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. The Broncos offense, running back Kyron Williams, ready to go once more. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout. So first and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. From the shotgun, here's Nix. There's a short one taken by Ingram. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line. Terrific day throwing the ball, and the numbers now show it. Over 300 yards passing in this one. From the 34 now, it's first and 10. Now Nick's going to look to throw. That's caught! And he is out of bounds all the way down at the 35-yard line.
That's another
First and 10.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Run the toss to Genti. And this takes him into the red zone. He's dropped down inside the 20-yard line. 18 yards on the pickup there. Good for a Denver first down.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, Mike, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the fourth quarter, which typically means I had to lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
They'll try to set up the screen to Genti. And he'll get about 8 on that one, most of it coming after the catch. It's second down. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. Now it's 2nd and 1. Here's a handoff to Genty. And this one's blown up. Good surge and drop him. A loss on the play, back to the 9-yard line.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
Next, from the gun, on 4th down. And he's got the first down. A great job looking at engaging where the marker is and getting there to set up 1st and goal.
First down.
So there's a saying in the NFL, Mike, short throw, long catch, and that's exactly what they wanted to go with here. Operate in the quick game, don't stress the protection, and while he didn't get necessarily the big play, he does get enough to move the chains.
And he gets out wide. He'll go to the end zone. Ashton Genty. Touchdown, Denver. For Genty, 56 total TDs in 3 years at Boise State. And a touchdown there, the first of his NFL career. Going after now from Dicker. He knocks it through. Broncos will add one more onto their big lead.
45. Titans 14. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. Now a hit, and he lost the football. Special teams has come up with the recovery. You talk about everything going wrong. A big deficit. All you want is the ball and a chance to get back in the game. And now, Greg, they hand the ball right back to him on this kickoff fumble.
Mike, you know the saying, when it rains, it pours. And right now, it is pouring on this team. They just can't get out of their own way. They lose a fumble here on the kickoff just to make matters worse. This has just been a complete disaster all around for this unit.
It's a gain of 13, and it's 1st and goal.
Good for a Denver Broncos.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
Genty trying to push forward, but only a yard. Down to the 2.
Down at the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and
A
goal.
little closer. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Genty. And he barrels his way into the end zone. Ashton Genty. Touchdown, Denver. And what an opener it has been for this rookie. That's now his 2nd touchdown here in week 1. Dicker now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Broncos stretch things out even further.
52. Titans 14. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
First and 10.
The Titans offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. Things not looking good. But see if we can get the turnaround going here. We'll start this drive with 1st down. The drive starts. It's a carry by Pollard. And a hard-earned yard as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
Out of the gun, Ward. Down the field, he's got his tight end Okonkwo. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
First down, Titans.
Up the middle, here comes Pollard. A gain of 4 as he's taken down.
At this point, we're going to need 2 hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
They'll run the toss. Here's Pollard. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice.
And they're going to get to him and take him down, take him back to the other side of midfield. That's the Pro Bowler from a year ago, Nick Bonito, working his way in to register his first sack of the new season.
When you can win so fast as an edge rusher, you put so much pressure on the quarterback to speed everything up. He can sense that pressure coming either from his front or back side. It either speeds up and leads to an errant throw, or in this case, it leads to a sack.
Back onto the field comes the Denver offense, and this has been the start of the season you hope for. You held serve at home, have the lead here in the fourth quarter, and now it's all about bleeding down that clock. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's second down. So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. They'll come up on a second down and 8. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. Open man downfield, that's Ingram. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. Here's 1st and 10. A run with the Central Florida product, R.J. Harvey. And some good running there. He'll fall forward for about 7.
Brings up second down.
Here's 2nd and 2. Toss, right side, that's Harvey. And he's going to have the first down. And that will not officially end it, but for all intents and purposes, they're going to be able to run the clock down from here.
First down. 1st and 10.
Toss, left side, that's Harvey. And he maneuvers his way forward, a gain of 6. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 10-yard line.
Straight ahead goes Harvey. And he will be taken down. We'll see if they want to use those timeouts, but this one is about done. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. That's seemingly pretty silly with 1 second left in the game. Here's Cameron Dicker now on for the field goal. This about as short as you can get. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Broncos will extend their lead. So mile-high salutes all around. It's a win for the Broncos. They move to 1-0, getting the victory to begin the new campaign. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners. As we say, so long from Denver.